there isn't that much pressure from the Georgians when they're sat back in that low block, but if we want to create the opportunities that we want, we need to move the ball quicker.
And you definitely want goals. So let's find out if we're going to get any and hand over to our commentary team, Stephanie Zambra and Des Kern.
Thank you, Marie. Good evening, everyone. After a frustrating first half in Tbilisi yielded just a single goal half-time lead, Eileen Gleeson's Ireland kicked on in that second half to as good as put this playoff semi-final to bed, a night where Switzerland next summer moved a step closer, but not there yet. Just over 4 weeks to the all-or-nothing playoff final against Wales or Slovakia. Tonight, a night to finish the job in front of a full house in Tallaght and keep recent momentum going. A chilly evening, but Ireland very much looking forward to the 90 minutes ahead. And ahead of kick-off, we will take the anthems. A rousing rendition of our own Navean and a real feel-good factor around the stadium here in Tallaght ahead of kick-off. Steph, early thoughts?
Yeah, look, I think after Friday night it's important to kick on a good professional performance here tonight. I think we've done enough on Friday to be able to be comfortable enough coming into this game and looking ahead to hopefully getting to the next qualifiers in November, December. So I think, as I said, just a patient performance with intensity to their play. I think we should get a good result here tonight.
Well, that's bringing the team's Eileen Gleeson in that comfortable position of being able to make changes tonight, but she's not made too many, just 3 from Friday's win in Tbilisi. Regular number 1 Courtney Brosnan returns from her one-game ban to win her 41st cap. The other 2 changes see starts for 2 of the first legs. First-time goal scorers, the versatile Jessie Stapleton comes in, as does Marissa Shiva, replacing Lily Agg and Tyler Toland. Toland, as Tony was saying earlier, yellow card away from suspension, so perhaps no surprise to see her start on the bench. Katie McCabe with pennant in hand, about to meet our match officials. Hungarian team led by Katalin Kuczar, who's indeed taking charge of her 3rd Republic of Ireland game, the most recent of those, the qualifier defeat to Sweden. VAR in effect as well, led by Tamas Bognar. Well, what of the visitors? Iris Antman makes 2 changes from Friday night, but as they look to carry more of an attacking threat, they look significant changes. as Tiona Bakradze and Nino Bukrip-Kidze return from suspension. Bakradze score of 4 of her side's 6 goals in the group stage. Tatia Gabunia continues in goal. An impressive first half in Tbilisi. The second 45, though, might have left a scar or two.
Yeah, definitely. I think the changes coming into the Georgian team, their manager will be looking to hopefully get them on the ball and try and get Georgia something within this game. I think Bakradze in particular, I remember her from before, quite a nippy player, so we're going to have to keep an eye on her. I also think that Cheminava had a good game. Kind of wouldn't look like one of those players that was trying to make something happen for them. So 2 players maybe to keep an eye on. But as I said, after Friday night, I think the girls should be expecting to have a lot of the ball and just try to use it as best they can.
Heimir Hallgrimsson in attendance again, as he was down in Cork for that stirring win against France at the end of the group stage. And a couple of Nations League games coming up, of course, in the near future, against Finland in Dublin, and of course to finish off against England at Wembley. Ireland back in Tallaght after that successful sojourn to Cork for the women's national team, a 33rd fixture here, 17 wins, starting with an October 2011 Euro 2013 qualifier against Israel. Denise O'Sullivan, a goal scorer on that night. Nia Fahy, Steph yourself, Louise Quinn, Julianne Russell, all there for Sue Ronan. A crowd of just over 1,000 that night. Look how things have changed.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see, isn't it? We've seen it grow so much over the last number of years. I think that successful qualification for the World Cup just helped us kick on a little bit more, and what would going to the Euros do again, you know, I think it's brilliant to see the progress we've made.
Well, spot on after that historic World Cup qualification, what it did for the women's game at all levels across the country. Vital now, you would think, that a first European Championships follows. It will be Georgia to get us underway. Eileen Gleeson has called on her side to be ruthless tonight, despite that first leg scoreline. Maybe worth remembering, Ireland put 11 goals past Georgia on their World Cup qualifying visit here 3 years ago. It will be 21-year-old Natia Danelia, maybe their star name, to get this game underway. Final checks from our match officials. A beautiful evening. The pitch in splendid condition as always. And can Ireland head into that 2-legged playoff final off the back of another big performance here? We are underway in Tallaght. And straight away, a collision involving Katie McCabe in the centre of the pitch. First touch for the returning Courtney Brosnan, and Georgia looking to pressurise here. They would have been stung by what happened in that second half. And they're getting about Ireland early. Little drop of the shoulder from Keminava. Plays her club football in Hapoel Tel Aviv, one of the few to operate outside of Georgia domestically. But obviously they've pride to play for tonight. That second half got away from them. Yeah,
of course, and I think you expect them to be a little bit more positive tonight to try and get something from it. So you would expect them to try and play on the front foot a little bit more, but of course if that happens, I think Ireland will definitely work in the spaces and be able to hurt them. So they have to be careful and pick their moments too.
Just watching Jessie Stapleton playing at the base of that midfield, keeping an eye on the returning danger player, Tiona Bakradze, wearing 7 for Georgia. Lifted out towards Abby Larkin. Player of the match on Friday. Fantastic outing in Tbilisi.
Yeah, she's been brilliant, hasn't she? Getting more and more minutes at Crystal Palace as well, which I think will help her grow as a player at club level and then be able to bring you here into the international stage. She was excellent on Friday.
Still just 19. She's had an interesting and varied career already, Abby Larkin. From the footballing hotbed that is Ringsend. Caitlin Hayes. Look again, Georgia dropping so deep, everyone inside their final third. And they'll be asking a lot of Bakradze tonight when they do manage to get out. They'll have to be more accurate though to find her, or else it could be a frustrating evening.
You can see Georgia already just sitting in their banks, aren't they? I think we're going to need a few people to try and make a few unselfish runs just to try and create that space. Seeing Denise dropping out and getting a bit of space for Shiva in behind. We need more of that as well.
And a buzz as Abby Larkin got going there. Now back defending. And forcing a wayward pass from Keminava. Denise O'Sullivan back to Aoife Mannion. Certainly an area of the pitch where fresh blood has come in, Steph, at the back, hasn't it? No Louise Quinn in the squad at the moment through injury, and Nia Fahy on the bench. Here's a chance. Marissa Shiva's in and draws a good save from Gabunia, but on the follow-up, there's the opening goal. Julianne Russell continues her purple patch on her return to the international fold. 2.5 minutes in, Ireland by a goal to nil.
And there's that celebration again. Julia really good following in. Really good run from Shiva to get the shot off originally. And Julianne just alert to come in on the danger and follow up. It's good play. Katie gets on it here. You can see Caruso does really well, holds it up. We spoke about her the other night, her hold up is going to be good. Shiva working off it, and as I said, Julianne following in. Really good finish from Julianne.
Great finish, rattled it into the back of the net. Shiva, a yard or two either side, it might have been her goal, but Julianne Russell kept involved in the attack, sensing there would be something there, like all good attacking players do. Sweeps it home. And after Georgia were looking for a positive, aggressive start, they're behind here inside the opening 3 minutes. Caitlin Hayes of Glasgow Celtic across to Aoife Mannion. That will be dispiriting for Georgia. They defended really well in that first half on Friday. Took Ireland over half an hour to make the breakthrough. Katie McCabe put some zip on that towards Russell. Gasviani hoping the ball will find its way over the end line, and it just about does.
Yeah, I think as you said on Friday night as well, Georgia defended quite well, and you could see maybe Ireland were getting a little bit frustrated, and I think that penalty came at a very good time for Ireland. It took the pressure off coming into the second half. But for Georgia, I think it's a long 90 minutes ahead now, conceding that early.
And for Ira Santman, she's come in since April of 2023 and has got more out of this Georgian selection. A lot of young players coming through as well. When you look back at that 23 World Cup qualification campaign in the group with Ireland, they lost all 8 games. They didn't score a goal. They conceded 54. 20 over 2 games against Ireland, 15 in 1 game against Sweden. So there are some positive signs for them. Nations League did help, but they did only qualify for these playoffs by virtue of an 88th minute penalty in Lithuania. Definitely operating at a different level. Danelia, just 21, but apparently being looked at by some of the bigger European clubs. Most of the Georgian squad made up of the top 2 in what is a small domestic league. Danelia looking out towards Kadagishvili, but not finding her. Julianne Russell, who was man-marked in every sense of the word, really. In the away game, came in for some rough treatment, but she's put all that behind her in quick-fire fashion here.
Yeah, I think Judy's always, I think at one stage during her younger years, Judy was one of the most foul players in Europe, so she's always one of those players that draws those tackles from players. She's so tricky in getting at them.
I'm sure you all know her story by now, but it's just a fabulous one. And to be representing the domestic league as well off the back of a great season for Galway United.
Yeah, she's been brilliant. She's just so energetic, never gives up, never stops running, and obviously she has the quality with the goals we've seen over the last couple of games. She's been brilliant, and it's great to see her back involved in the setup.
Larkin, just too much on that for Denise O'Sullivan. And for Eileen Gleeson, the aim is Switzerland, and to join the real heavy hitters there, the champions England already there, Germany, Spain, France, the Netherlands, Italy, Iceland, Denmark, 7 to be decided through these playoffs, and already Austria, Sweden, Norway, Portugal, all well on their way in their semi-finals after convincing first leg wins.
Yeah, I think Slovakia and Wales would be interesting as well, won't it? Obviously Slovakia ahead after the first leg.
2 sides well known to Ireland as well.
Yeah, definitely, and I kind of wasn't sure which one I preferred, to be honest. I think 2 decent teams, and it'll be a big step up from this game too, so obviously a lot of planning will need it after this game too to go into that game.
And if you're forward planning, November 29th will be the away leg. The home leg at the Aviva on December 3rd. Hayes looking to show her passing range, fabulous ball. Swept all the way across to Larkin. O'Sullivan on the move again. Caruso on the 6-yard line, beyond her this time. Found that wonderfully delicate and improvised finish, Caruso into Tbilisi. She was in that area again. There's McCabe. Chemanava gives up the chase. Russell looking for a second, and Gabunia all the way behind that one.
Yeah, I think Gabunia had a decent first half, but I think in the second half she didn't deal too well with too many shots on target, so I don't blame Julie having a shot as she comes inside there. She turns really well and gets a good strike off, but straight at the keeper in the end.
Well, that one sliced out of play by the young goalkeeper. He knows she's in for a busy night here. And a pattern. Searchy ball to McCabe. Russell. Here is Shiva. All action in that busy style of hers. Sets it for McCabe again, held up by Gasfiani. They're not forcing it. Shiva happy to come back out again. Lovely sharp turn from Denise O'Sullivan. Russell. And tangle in the box. Optimistic appeals for a penalty from the north stand. Danelia has the strength to see off O'Sullivan, but now needs to find a way out here. Karandadze. And Gasfiani couldn't keep it in, and the pressure stays on Georgia.
Yeah, it's brilliant pressure from Denise O'Sullivan, isn't it? Just not getting them settled, putting the Georgians under pressure as soon as they win the ball back.
Oh, first corner of the evening to be taken far side by the captain. And Ireland with plenty of height inside in that penalty area. Mannion Hayes, Carusa, Stapleton, Patton. Kemenava, touch tight and then some with Aoife Mannion. That goes round the back and the header coming in. And Cara Carusa looked on target before it just veered away.
Yeah, it's another great delivery from Katie McCabe, isn't it? We've seen it the other night as well. She just doesn't get enough on it, does she? In fairness, the defender is keeping a tight eye on her, keeping her nice and close. Just slices it wide, but a great delivery. I think, as you mentioned as well, we've so many good headers of the ball in those areas too, so it's important that we do use our set piece as well.
And that's without Louise Quinn. Just back to that point I was going to bring up just before the goal, the change of things at the back here. Louise Quinn out injured, Niamh Fahy on the bench, Dan Caldwell on the bench. But three experienced players who've come in the last couple of years and have settled very quickly.
Yeah, they really have. They've come in and made the team their own. They've really settled in with the rest of the girls around them, and you can see they're all top quality players as well, which is what you welcome to the Irish setup. You know, I think they've made a difference since coming in, and just the fact they're playing in the top leagues as well is important too. I think Aoife Mannion obviously at United, Anna Patton has had a good career too so far, but all of them have settled in really, really well.
Caitlin Hayes playing Champions League football this season as well. Danelia trying to do it all herself there and bring her side out. Taking the jersey of Abby Larkin. And a free kick now in a tempting position, particularly on this side for the left foot of Katie McCabe. Lots of goals in Tbilisi, 5 goals across the 2 World Cup qualifiers. Keeping a hat-trick here against Georgia.
Like scoring against Georgia, to be fair, doesn't she? She's got quite a few.
28 international goals, and 11 of them have come on this ground. And the number 11 now, she's got a lot of space to hit in there. Irish players starting far side of the box, looking to attack this. Jessie Stapleton right around the back, and that's where it's heading. It just came off the head of Caitlin Hayes. Couldn't control it on target.
It's a good delivery again. In fairness to the Georgians, they're marking quite tight. They've done the same on Friday night. You can see they're not letting anybody getting any runs off them. It's good defending, just does enough to try and pull Caitlin Hayes off her header.
Looking to play out from the back here, but that goes wrong. Here's Santman just trying to keep the positivity in her team in difficult circumstances here, with almost 50 caps as a goalkeeper herself for Israel.
You can see she's definitely made some changes and positive ones in that, hasn't she? They definitely have improved, and they're set up, they look a bit more organised. It was a difficult one for them coming in here tonight.
And Ireland on this fantastic surface, looking to use every inch of it. Game predominantly 13 minutes in, played in this half. Hayes. McCabe swings it in towards Caruso. Sullivan in the penalty area as well. And anywhere will do from Danelia. Launched by Gabunia. Exactly the type of ball, but Kradze, given her stature up against Caitlin Hayes, would thrive on. Strong work here from Cabodanzia. A big tackle coming in from Katie McCabe. Bit of upheaval at club level for Katie McCabe as well, after a slow start for Arsenal replacing manager.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It'll be a bit of a slow start to the season for Katie. Katie obviously as always involved and playing quite well, but just the results haven't been going their way, have they? Would be interesting to see now where Arsenal go to next.
It's Chelsea changing managers this season as well, with Emma Hayes moving on. Sonia Bonpastor coming in. Shiva. To work something with Julianne Russell. She's beaten it to the end line and won the corner from Mr. Shiva. Yeah, Aoife Mannion, just watching it, this is the second corner in succession now where...
It's a strange one with Georgia. I've noticed it the other night too. They're not even looking at the ball, they're just literally face to face with the defenders and or with the attackers and getting in their face, and you can see Aoife Mannion's just having a word there.
Buckle kids it. No intention of looking at the ball at all, just arms wrapped around, and she's not the only one in there. If they continue this, the referee might eventually take a dim view of it, and Katie McCabe might be stepping up for a penalty again. As it is, it's a corner for now. Good delivery as well. Just a fraction too high for Carusa.
So close to getting her head in that one, wasn't she? Again, what a delivery into the area.
Shiva. Here is Hayes popping up at the right-hand side. Denise O'Sullivan. Perpetual motion, little nutmeg sliding into the penalty area. Danelia, not the greatest of clearances. Shiva looking to back her pace again. Gets her head up and her cross in. McCabe, edge of the area. The strength to get it back again. Larkin, lovely sharp ball inside for Mannion. McCabe. They look up at 10 black jerseys in front of them. Larkin, one-on-one, and there's only one winner there, Abby Larkin. To the end line, the pull back. Touched away by Chikatishvili. McCabe. So many bodies in there, and eventually it's Mariam Kalandadze to get it away. O'Sullivan dances away from Danelia. Mannion gives the width this time. Shiva. Hayes. Now Patton. No pressure on the cross here. Gabunia. Tangled in the penalty area, and there's another penalty appeal for Ireland. There's Gasviani and Katie McCabe.
It just looked like a bit of a body check, didn't it? I have to see it again now, but from my view there, it looked like she just ran into Katie. Not looking at the ball at all. Just so congested in there though, isn't it? You can see whenever The ball comes out wide. You can see as it comes in here, she's not looking at the ball at all, is she? She just completely body checked her. We've seen it at the start as well from kick-off, didn't we? Keeping tight tabs on Katie McCabe.
Larkin, lovely 1-2 with O'Sullivan. Excellent bit of recovery defending though from Nino Chikatishvili. One of the most experienced campaigners in this Georgian team. Showed a good turn of pace there. Now in swinger this time, and this will put pressure on Gabunia.
She could shoot from here, you know.
So Sullivan 2-on-1 if they want it. Georgia remain content just to send one out here.
I think Shiva nearly came over and killed the space. You can see what Katie wants to do here, try to get onto her left foot.
So Sullivan half cleared by Danelia. Here is Bakradze. Now Georgia looking to break. Had they the pace though. Kadagishvili straight at Shiva. Danelia. Again just asking Bakradze to give chase. And she's a willing runner.
That was an Ireland ball, wasn't it? You can see Patton isn't happy. He did get a nick off them.
And for the first time since the kick-off, really, it's Georgia into the Republic of Ireland half. We played 19 minutes.
It's just so hard for them to get bodies up the pitch, isn't it? When you're defending so tirelessly, getting bodies up, you're probably not willing to run and get up there. These are the moments you need to try and use well.
Hurled forward by Narcia. Easily dealt with. Danelia digs out across, but no one in the box at all.
She's trying to win the corner for her team, isn't she?
Brosnan looks to get Ireland going early. Julianne Russell, lovely little check on the inside. Shiva, Russell available again. Finds the space here with Mannion. Further wide Larkin. Again, every time it comes to Abby Larkin, Denise O'Sullivan across to look to work with her.
Yeah, they've made that run inside, haven't they? Shiva on the opposite side too, looking to try and get in behind. And we just couldn't get it out of her feet there to play into space. But again, another player who had a good night the other night. You can see the Georgians are doubling up on her every time she gets on the ball. Not giving her any space to do anything.
The positive from a Georgia point of view as we head toward the midway point of the first half is having conceded that goal to Julianne Russell so quickly, they haven't shipped another. Caitlin Hayes. Russell. Always looking to be positive, and off she goes, and that's a kick at Julianne Russell, and a yellow card coming here for Danelia.
It's pure frustration, isn't it, from Daniela? You can see she knows Julianne's getting away from her. Could have been dangerous though.
And my apologies, it's actually Cabur Danzia. If you watch the first leg on Friday, she does have a bit of a disciplinary record. This cap number 16, 8 yellow cards now and 1 red. Likes a tackle. Now every Irish outfield player, bar free kick taker Katie McCabe and Abby Larkin, who's all on her own in the centre circle, in and around this Georgian penalty area. And Georgia with everyone back, so Larkin takes that chance to move forward herself, high and hanging around the back. Georgia make first contact to Kemenava, and out for an Ireland throw-in. And again, Ireland looking to keep the pace in the game. O'Sullivan carries the ball with such poise and balance. Stapleton looking ball in. Again, it's just too high for Carusa to make good contact. Gabodanzia. Captain Kemenava. Again, it's hard work for Georgia to get out. They get out as far as McCabe. Slipped inside to O'Sullivan. First touch gets her facing goalwards. Mannion into an immediate crossing position. And that's good goalkeeping from Gabunia. Made it hers.
Yeah, she's done well to come and collect that one, hasn't she? But it's really good from Ireland, as we said, from the throw-in out here. They keep it going, they keep the intensity, and just don't let Georgia settle at all.
Well, as Caberdanzia is down, we can tell you of a big goal coming in Cardiff, and from one of Wales' big players as well. Jess Fishlock has made it 1-0 on the night to Wales, 2-2 on aggregate now, and Wales with that partisan home support behind them. Well, fancy their chances of kicking on there.
What a player Jess Fishlock has been for him over the years too.
And of course Wales were here in Tallaght in February, and they won that game by 2-0. That'll be fresh in Ireland minds if it is an Ireland-Wales playoff final.
Yeah, definitely. I think I probably would have said I would have preferred Slovakia, to be honest, just off the basis of that. Now I do think that Wales come in with a new manager and maybe caught us on the hop a little bit, but it will be an interesting game no matter who we play now in November, December.
Jackie Bonner also in attendance. You'd anticipate a big day at the Aviva as well for that second leg in December as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it'd be brilliant to get a good crowd out again, wouldn't it? It's been brilliant. Obviously, it's great to have the crowd here in Tallaght Stadium, but to be able to get more and more people into the Aviva would be great for the team.
And be it Wales or Slovakia, you can't imagine it will be anything near a done deal after the first leg, which for Ireland will be away from home. So it will all be decided at the Aviva. Ireland have that recent experience of the qualifiers, the Nations League against Northern Ireland as well. Gabunia risking coming out of her penalty area there with ball in hand. Taken in by Russell. And time and a chance now for Anna Patton to step in. Reverses it to Shiva. On to Hayes. Patton again. Been through the Arsenal Academy before heading to the US in college. Back to Arsenal to make her debut as a teenager. That went too heavy for Abby Larkin.
You can see the idea is there. She's just looking for that gap in between for Abby to run onto, but just a little bit too much on it from Deesa Sullivan.
And those two have combined really well through the opening 25-26 minutes. Crowd has certainly swelled since kick-off. Traffic issues getting into the stadium tonight. Huge crowds outside. It mightn't have been full at kick-off, but looks very close to it now. Mannion's throwing. McCabe. Chikatishvili. Tight to her. Here's Patton again. Plenty of touches for the three centre halves again tonight. McCabe. Patton. Hayes. And wide left to Shiva, who just seems to have that roving role. Plenty of touches for her as well in this first half. Mannion. Here comes the latest cross for Georgia to deal with. And they survive once more.
It's a good inviting ball in from Mannion, isn't it? You can see Julianne Russell coming in at the back post, just can't quite get enough of a connection on it. Just trying her best to get in front. Maybe Shiva's put her off as well, hasn't she, with the jump, just not quite getting to it.
You could see and hear the shout from Julianne Russell and Shiva at the very last moment. Just look to duck underneath, give her a better sight of it. One thing we did see on Friday as well was the difference maybe in the fitness levels in that second half.
I think it only takes a matter of time before it becomes too difficult for Georgia. You know, you're defending for your life for the whole first half, and you come out in the second half knowing that you're not really going to get many opportunities to go forward. So they will leak more opportunities as the game goes on.
Julianne Russell driving at Kadagishvili again. Checks back, here comes the cross. Oh, a good piece of defending from Safiko Narcia, just took Abby Larkin underneath the ball.
Yeah, it's good positive play again from Julianne Russell. Good delivery, she cuts back onto her right foot, and you can see Abby Larkin just trying to come in and just goes in behind. It's good defending, as you mentioned. She's watched her the whole way, hasn't she? But really positive play from Julianne Russell.
Think of how things just lifted half-time in Carrow Road, that game against England, when she arrived on the scene and Leanne Kernan arrived on the scene. They got the goal laid on, just lifted everyone, and then a terrific performance against France down in Cork.
It was a brilliant finish to the campaign, wasn't it? And Julia, I think, played a big role in that, and as you mentioned, Leanne Kernan too against France was excellent. But I think Julie just brings that energy. Like, she never stops. You know, if you're a defender playing against her, she's a nightmare.
Certain depth in this Ireland squad now, when you consider no Louise Quinn or Megan Connolly, Megan Campbell, Jamie Finn, Jessu, Rusha Littlejohn. Reading as well that Tara O'Hanlon's been in and out the squad this week. Mannion. Hayes zips that one back out to the left-hand side. Georgia again having to shift left and right while trying to keep that centre compact. Hard work.
It's that ball again, isn't it? We mentioned the inside run from Shiva and O'Sullivan over both sides. Georgia defended well this time.
Almost at the half-hour mark. And still Julianne Russell's goal separating the sides on the night, 7-0 over the two legs. This one done and dusted early, but all eyes on Cardiff to see who's going to come through there. And then the work begins. That group that Ireland were drawn into, I mean, that was tough for Eileen Gleeson, wasn't it? You're in with three of the best teams there is. And, you know, an attacking threat, it was hard to find one in those games, but the team and Eileen Gleeson, they'll certainly benefit for facing opposition of that calibre.
Definitely. I think it's, as we talked about it throughout the whole campaign, we kept on trying to reiterate the levels of the teams that they were playing against, but that will definitely stand to the girls. And obviously, as we said, coming towards the end, we've seen a few goals coming and a bit more forward play, which is great too.
That's a fabulous ball, great touch, outstanding goal. What about that? The ball forward from Anna Patton. The lovely touch from Jessie Stapleton, I think it was, and then Caruso on the end of it. Well, that's one way to take out a mass defence. The zip on the ball in, the most delicate of touches, and a superb finish, 2-0.
Yeah, just as I'm talking about good forward play, we've seen probably the best bit of play we've seen in a while in forward areas. Lovely, lovely depth touch from Jessie Stapleton as it comes into her. You can see she makes a good forward run. She knows what she's doing as well. She's looking to try and play that into the path to Caruso, who finishes it with style. But what a touch that is. Brilliant, brilliant goal.
Well, that is as good a goal you'll see. The pace on the first pass, the pace taken off it by Stapleton's touch to give Kira Caruso her chance. And how she took it, sweeping it past Kabunia. Instinct, centre forward reactions to see where the chance might fall. Outstanding goal. And that is a tackle in the penalty area, and a penalty won by Caruso. Kalandadze always in difficulty racing back. And in quick fire fashion, 2 could become 3 now.
It's all starting to crumble again for Georgia, isn't it? As I said before, it's a difficult game to come into, knowing that you're 6-0 down on aggregate. Now 8-0. It's a difficult one to come back from. And we know there's going to be an onslaught from the Irish team coming at them.
Well, Georgia will protest. It looked very ungainly, though.
We've talked about it a few times, haven't we? There, a lot of grabbing and pulling. This time she hasn't got away with it.
And Caruso was clever. Just almost checked her run a little. Got across the defender, knowing the contact was going to come. And once it wasn't clean contact from Mariam Kalandadze, there was only one decision forthcoming. And now Katie McCabe. As we mentioned, 11 international goals on this ground, 4 of them from the penalty spot, including one against Georgia back in those World Cup qualifiers. Will step up as she did on Friday night, but this time with the chance to make it 3-0. And the guessing games begin between the Ireland captain and the Georgia goalkeeper. Does Katie McCabe go the same way, or does she mix it up here? She's been as good as a goal every 3 games in her international career. Heading on towards 100 caps now, Katie McCabe. She's been made to wait. Here we go. A couple of deep breaths. Katie McCabe steps up. Oh, she's missed it. Got underneath it. And that third goal will have to wait. A very rare penalty miss from Katie McCabe.
It's not what I was expecting, to be honest, Des. I expected her just to slot it home. A long wait for the penalty to be taken, wasn't it? The players encroaching into the box. We just expect so much better from Katie McCabe usually, don't we? She's just got under it.
That's one of those 6 or 8 inches lower, and you're saying it's just unstoppable. And that will be a little annoyance now for Katie McCabe as we head towards half-time.
Perhaps not a good thing for the Georgians, maybe, if it roils Katie up for the second half coming out.
You've heard that from Gabunia and Sullivan. Lost it, got it back again under pressure from Caberdanzia. Once again, got Ireland back 3 in possession. Georgia drop and drop and drop. Larkin sees a little bit of space in behind here, and off she goes. Digs out across as well. McCabe was in there. Just couldn't get the touch she needed, and sent away by Gvansa Kadagishvili.
Better from Abby Larkin as well, isn't it? She had the beating of the defender. She gets by her and just gets a cross in nice and early. Katie McCabe trying to come across that front post. Just can't get a touch.
Gabunia coming out bravely, just did get a little knock there. Crowd still, I think, coming to terms with that penalty miss. A little murmuring that we can hear around us.
A little bit deflated, aren't they, at the moment?
The road back from injury can be a long one, but getting there. Caitlin Hayes. Patton to split 2 of those defenders. Not easily done, given how many. With 6 back at times, Georgia, in a line across their penalty area. Not easy for this Georgian side, though, coming here knowing Well, the result is gone. It's going to be a difficult night again. They've just got to keep going, keep doing it. The best things they can do. There's Mark Canham in the crowd there as well. Hayes unable to force her way through there. Patton back to Brosnan. Great touch for the Ireland goalkeeper. And Shiva quick to nick it off the toe of Keminaba. Carusa, who missed the last 2 games off the group stage due to injury. And she's back in no scoring home and away against Georgia, having opened her international account against the Georgians back in those World Cup qualifiers. Julianne Russell, who got us up and running in terms of the goals. Gasviani touch tight. And getting a little nod of acknowledgement for her efforts from her teammates. Jessie Stapleton, what a touch it was for that goal. I mean, she's pretty much played everywhere in her young career, hasn't she?
Yeah, and I think we're all talking about her probably being a better centre half than a midfielder, but I think she can do both. You know, she's technically gifted. She has a goal in her locker too. But what a talent, what a player. As I said, a great touch to set up that goal.
She's on loan at Sunderland at the moment from West Ham, and that's a loan move that worked out really well for her. Starting all the 6 championship games. Goal at Charlton as well.
Yeah, she's been doing really well. My own manager's still there as well, so I've had a few conversations with her and they're very impressed with her at Sunderland too, so it's been a great loan move for her so far.
Club and country, you'd have to say she's a manager's dream really. If you are having any injury issues anywhere, you could pretty much put Jessie Stapleton in there. Conventional wisdom seems to be that centre half will be her long-term future. Mannion, lovely ball through the gap. Here is Larkin, gets it back onto that right foot, cross towards the back, Russell arriving again. And Kadagishvili, to her credit, matched her stride for stride and managed to get enough of a block on it, it seemed.
In fairness, the Georgians are sticking to their task, aren't they? They're not leaving runners go, they're sticking tight to them. You see Julianne's just trying to get the ball down. But it's a good ball from Larkin again, just getting the ball in quickly.
There goes Bakradze, but she's all alone. Looking to take on that entire Irish rearguard. The physical presence of Hayes just eases into her, but this will break now for Kadagishvili. And that will go down as a shot from Georgia. And a save for Courtney Brosnan. Larkin. This time it's O'Sullivan ahead of her. Chikatishvili goes with her. O'Sullivan buys a yard. Another dangerous cross. Good header away by Kalandadze. They've had so many crosses to deal with in this first half, Georgia.
Yeah, we spoke about it on Friday as well, that Ireland needed to get down those wide areas and get deliveries into the box, so it's definitely something you can see they've been working on.
Ball towards Carusa, cut out by Natia Danelia. Anna Patton. And by Hayes, McCabe. Chance to measure her cross here, and Gabunia comes and collects. Good distance on that one, but no teammate there. Lovely touch that from Danelia. Bakradze. Just to get Keminaba moving, but our captain unable to pick the lock there.
You can see the 3 forward players, they're doing their best to try and get up, but they're just not fully committed to getting there, are they?
Julianne Russell. Jersey almost taken off her by Keminaba, who becomes the 3rd Georgian booked in this first half. Testing the fabric.
Just wasn't letting her get away, was she?
And again, by hook or by crook, it does show their determination just to not let Ireland through easily. Want to make the home side earn their goals tonight. Hayes up. Around the back is Stapleton again. Mannion in there. Patton in there. Carusa being wrapped up by Chikatishvili. Here comes the Katie McCabe delivery. Real tempter around the back, and Aoife Mannion. And we saw her to good effect laid on Friday in an area like that one. It will be an Ireland corner.
She just couldn't quite get the contact on it there, could she? But another chance here now from the corner.
So here we go, signal given by Katie McCabe. Comes around the back, kept in the danger area. Mannion's in there, goalkeeper's dropped it. Trying to scramble and get it back again. Body's on the ground, and eventually Chikatishvili scrambles it away. 2 Georgian players still down injured inside their 6-yard box here.
I hope she's not cramping after 43 minutes, Des. Seemed to be a bit of a chaotic clearance, wasn't it, to say the least?
See if we can bring some order to this. It was Caberdanzia and Julianne Russell down initially.
It's just when the keeper drops it, you can see Mannion's trying to pounce on it. Is there a shout for a penalty there on top of her back? I'm not sure the ref's going to give another one that soon after the first, but...
Quite a bit going on in there. It was Bukridze on the back of Aoife Mannion. A few issues with VAR in Tbilisi on Friday evening. A few things to look at in this first half as well, but nothing for the referee to take action with, it seems.
Yeah, it was a strange one, wasn't it? Took a long time to give Jess Stapleton her first Ireland goal.
Now play resumes with the ball back in Ireland's possession, and Aoife Mannion drills it towards Carusa. Just pushing it back down into midfield support. O'Sullivan over the head of Kemenava. Stapleton neat and tidy again. At least 4 to be added on at the end of this first half. Dominated start to finish by Ireland. Julianne Russell's early goal added to as Gabunia comes. Oh. And then was left looking anxiously as to where that one was headed behind her.
See as it comes through as well, there's a little bit of a shove on Denise O'Sullivan. I think if she's not as honest and goes down, she could get a penalty here. You can see she comes right through her. Not that I'd encourage that now, Des, I'm just saying she's lucky enough not to give away a penalty there.
Well, she asked the question in a polite fashion, Denise O'Sullivan. Easy to do, I guess, when you're 8-0 up on aggregate. Sullivan quickly back into the action. Supported by Abby Larkin. Brilliant feed again from Denise O'Sullivan. To have the feet taken out from underneath her. Play goes on. Anna Kemenava. What has she got forward of her? Trying to dribble her way out. Could do with some support. She's persisting though, Kemenava, and eventually Aoife Mannion seen enough. Wins it back. Sullivan onto Carusa. Hayes. Katie McCabe demanding it all that time. Patton. Opened her account with a couple of Nations League goals. Aoife Mannion, there's a tester for Gabunia, who got her fist to it. Danelia gets it away. Stapleton, great strike, and the chance is still there. Julianne Russell, from almost point-blank range, got plenty of power, just sacrificed direction. But Jessie Stapleton so unlucky with a super strike here.
Just waiting for that second one to hit the net, aren't you, from our angle here? Look, it was sailing in, but great connection from Jessie Stapleton as it comes out. In fairness, the defender's getting out quickly to Julianne, isn't she, as she goes to strike the ball. They do well to react. She just slices across it, doesn't she? So close.
Well, the pressure was there from Callandadze. She didn't give Julianne Russell much of the goal to see in the end. Here's Bakradze. Hasn't had a chance yet to show what she can do in front of goal. And she's a willing worker up there.
Yeah, I think Ireland have done well as well, just snuffing out any danger whenever they do get into any promising positions.
Almost into the final minute in Tallaght. It remains 2-0 as Patton strides forward. Julianne Russell had to attack that one in the air with Kadagishvili closing in. Hayes penalised. What will Eileen Gleeson, do you think, Steph, take out of that first half now?
I think it's just got to be more of the same, isn't it? It'd be interesting to see if we've got a few subs coming on in the second half. I know we're looking towards the next game, and she'll want to try and get a little bit of continuity with the team, you know, and try and get the team flowing in the right way, but also have to be careful with injuries and cards and stuff like that too. So I'd say she'd be very happy at half-time, and we'll possibly see quite a few subs in the second half.
Now here's Kemenava. Hoping to give the Georgian supporters here tonight, of which there are a few, something to cheer before the night is over. He's happy to put it out of play, and that will take us to half-time. And the kick-off saw Georgia look to get in amongst Ireland, but it didn't take long for Ireland to hit the front. 2.5 minutes in, Julianne Russell with a fine finish to add to her recent goal-scoring run. Kira Carusa added a brilliant team goal for the second. They could even afford the luxury of a Katie McCabe missed penalty as Ireland head into the dressing rooms. 2-0 up on the night, 8-0 on aggregate.
And it's all to play for here. Let's head back to Stephanie and Des.
Thank you, Maureen. Who can tell you news of an interesting change at half-time. Lily Agg, who started on Friday, is in for her 21st cap. And it's Aoife Mannion who's made way. So Jessie Stapleton, you've referenced her versatility time and again. She's gone into the middle of the back three now, with Caitlin Hayes to her left and Anna Patton moving to her right.
Yeah, I think it's a good move just to try and see Jessie in that position again, something that we've probably all touched on and we see as perhaps her best position going forward. Lily Agg obviously sitting in that anchoring role then in the six.
One thing you notice about Jessie Stapleton as well when you see her play, and you saw it with the goal as well, before the ball ever arrives, two little looks over each shoulder just to see exactly what's going on.
Yeah, she's got great awareness, hasn't she?
Shiva asking Julianne Russell to give chase. And Gasviani trying to see it out over the end line. Doesn't go though. McCabe. Strong, trying to win the corner, but goal kick given.
Yeah, Katie just needs to be careful as well, I think, not getting involved in any of that sort of stuff.
And it's the England game at Carrow Road in the qualifiers, through suspension. That might be the one thing that could go wrong for Eileen Gleeson tonight if someone were to pick up a yellow card or make a bad tackle. A second yellow to come. They kept their composure well over the two legs, Ireland, you'd have to say, amid some tough Georgian tackling at times. Can they rediscover that pace again now in the second half? Produce a big 45 minutes here. Carusa has done well. There's the pullback. Georgia still struggling to clear. Carusa again. Space at a premium. And eventually away by Callandadze, but not too far, only as far as Lily Agg. And then there's a foul into the area to give Georgia some respite.
Yeah, again, Georgia just get enough players around the ball. Don't think to try and put blocks in. It's good play from Carusa initially and gets a good ball into Katie McCabe on her right foot. She just can't get a good enough contact on the ball. But again, as I said, the Georgians are working hard defensively. They're getting around the ball and looking to try and make blocks.
Gasviani has given Kadagishvili a little bit of work to do there. That's where Georgia have really struggled to try and play their way up and out and get support up to Bakradze.
just lacking that quality at times, aren't they? And I know it's difficult when you're working so hard defensively.
The positive Iris Antman will hope going forward is that there's a clutch of 17, 18, 19-year-olds in and around the senior squad now. I hope they can find a few good ones. Good looking cross on the right-hand side, headed away by Kalandadze, the middle of that back five as it is for Georgia. Stapleton. Now Patton. Larkin. Swift again, 1 and 2 touch. Abby Larkin into the penalty area. Pulls it back to McCabe. And she's taking a tumble. Wrestling with the other captain, Anna Kemenava. O'Sullivan not waiting around. And eventually it's Narski unable to get it far though.
It's brilliant play from Denise O'Sullivan and Larkin down that side, wasn't it? Just comes into Katie, just wanted a little bit too much time, I think. Got sniffed out, but good play again on that right-hand side.
Denise O'Sullivan again knitting everything together. Patton, an enterprising run here right the way from the back, and she can stay forward now. Another Ireland corner on the way. She's enjoying her football at the moment. Anna Patton started every WSL game for Aston Villa this season, and the League Cup win against Crystal Palace.
She's a mainstay in that Villa side now, isn't she? Always so reliable.
Katie McCabe, delivery towards the near post. Excellent defensive header from Kalandadze, who's put in a big shift back there for Georgia, under pressure. Almost constant pressure. McCabe again, linking with O'Sullivan. Katie McCabe advancing, head up in towards Lily Ag. Dealt with by Chikatishvili. Here goes Kemenava. And again it's that pass. It goes astray. Ireland in League A, and with England, France and Sweden, which we've mentioned. Georgia were fighting in League C, where they were second behind Belarus. The side they refused to play. Home and away, so 2-3-0 games awarded against them. So it came down to the final day in Lithuania. Maiko Bebia, who's on the bench tonight, scored a penalty 2 minutes from time to get them into these playoffs. First time ever they've been in a playoff for the European Championships. Never made a major finals. It's baby steps for them as they're going on their journey.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier on, didn't you? There's young players coming through. I think it's going to take a couple of years before they're really starting to compete at this level. But definitely, as I said before, you can see the progressions they have made. There has been some.
They can take some inspiration from the men's team as well, who qualified for their first Euros and got to the round of 16 as well. But they do need a few superstars, as the men have in Kvaratskhelia of Napoli. There's Lily Ag, another who's enjoying her domestic campaign for the championship leaders, Birmingham City. Stapleton. McCabe. Larkin on the move again. Chikartashvili matches her and stabs away for a throw-in. McCabe asking Carusa to hold it up under pressure from Chikartashvili. O'Sullivan back out to space, and Patton. Stapleton. And Hayes. Shiva on the move once more. Stapleton. Good early ball into Lily Ag. Denise O'Sullivan. Little space to work in. That doesn't deter Denise O'Sullivan. Happy to hold it under pressure. Patton on, wants it back again. McCabe on the move as well. Latest cross swung in by Larkin, cushion to the edge. Liliag gets a shot away, charged down and out for another corner. But they were patient, Ireland. Switched it left to right, and then the injection of pace. The ball into Liliag.
Yeah, it's really good play, isn't it? Working the ball really well. I think they tried to stay too central for a while there, but as soon as they got it out wide to Larkin and Patton linking up with Katie McCabe, it was really good play.
Get the feeling on the balance of probabilities, it's a matter of time before Ireland make one of these corner kicks count. Lots of traffic around the near post here. Gabunia flying through the air to punch it away. Julianne Russell held up by Keminava. Shiva. Sensible ball back out to Stapleton. Crowd sensing there might be a shot on there. McCabe. Georgia really struggling to deal with the movement now of Ireland. Sullivan. And the corner count continues to rise. And they're looking around, and that might be the point being made by Gasfiani, that there's runners coming from everywhere.
It's so hard to mark, isn't it, when you have those runners? Ireland had the freedom to have the runners off the ball.
2-on-1 again here. Good angle for Katie McCabe to let fly, and she gets her goal, beating Gabunia at the near post. Well, once that penalty went awry, there was every chance Katie McCabe would score in this second half. She adds to her international tally, combining with Denise O'Sullivan to give her that room angle of the penalty area, and she thrashed it in at the near post.
Yeah, it's a brilliant reaction from Katie McCabe, and I think she tried to do that earlier in the game as well. We mentioned that Shiva came over and blocked that space so that Denise O'Sullivan ended up crossing it in, but we know how dangerous Katie McCabe is in cutting in there. It's a great finish into the bottom corner. And as I said, a great reaction and great mentality from Katie after missing the penalty.
Well, they worked the 2-on-1. Georgia so preoccupied with marking the big Ireland defenders maybe inside in that box that they let the 2-on-1 happen. And they have been punished, and punished ruthlessly. Eileen Gleeson and Colin Healy behind her, enjoying what they're seeing. 3 on the night, 9-0 on aggregate. Keminava knitted that together neatly. Liliag scrambling. Bakradze persisting. And then Cabordanzia felled.
She's done well to win something there, hasn't she? You can see them, in fairness, they're working really hard just to try and get something. It's good pressure from Ireland, but she's won the free kick well there for her team.
I think those 3 centre halves are enjoying the chance now to get up. Gasfiani, Kalandadze, Chikartishvili. Ireland start with that high defensive line. Iris Atman hoping there might be a positive moment here for her side. Lofted in. Roslyn tough for a moment. On a night where she's been virtually unemployed to come and get involved. Bakradze outnumbered. And Denise O'Sullivan. Another fine outing for her tonight.
She's just so consistent, isn't she? Denise O'Sullivan.
Cap number 117 tonight, having made her debut back in 2011 against Wales, a side she could be facing in 2 huge games to come in a month's time. Patton into O'Sullivan, and just a miscommunication with Katie McCabe. Those two have been such an integral part of this Ireland journey as it's gone on over the last decade or so.
Yeah, I think it's the commentator's curse there, wasn't it? All the praise we were just putting on her.
So a couple of changes coming here. We're going to see Izzy Atkinson again. Kira Carusa is going off. And we also see the return of Heather Payne. Abby Larkin makes way. Another good outing for her tonight. And Kira Carusa, another goal for her.
Yeah, two good performances again from the two girls. Great to see Heather Payne back in as well. A player who's always been so consistent for Ireland and every time she plays.
A couple of injury issues, but she started the last couple of WSL games for Everton. Heather Payne from Ballinasloe. Michael Bebia, who started last Friday, will be on momentarily for Georgia. Here goes Bakradze. You wouldn't begrudge her a shot here. She took it on. And Courtney Boslin with her first meaningful action of the night. Just shy of the hour mark, but Bakradze, who has toiled in difficult circumstances up there. As we said at the outset, 4 of their 6 goals in the group. That wasn't a bad effort at all.
You can see she has got that little bit of quality, hasn't she? It's a difficult game for her to play up there. It's a tough night for her, but you can see when she does get the ball, she looks like one of those that might make something happen.
Struck it really well, and Brosnan forced into action. McCabe rolls it across to Caitlin Hayes. First time for Shiva. Atkinson straight away with that positive intent. Georgia looking for a way out, and they have themselves a throw in, and now they can make their own double change. So Bebia on the left-hand side, and Tilitin Ambalia on the right, the 17-year-old on for her 16th cap. Bebia on for her 22nd. Michael Bebia didn't enjoy her last trip to Tallaght in the World Cup qualifier. She scored an own goal in the early minutes and then was sent off in the second half. Caberdanzia has given her all. And also going off, I saw the number 7 held up. Bakradze, who just had that shot, is making her way off on this near side.
Yeah, again, it's been a difficult night, hasn't it? You can see you just need to bring on some fresh legs.
Bebia showed an uncanny ability to win free kicks in that first game. Balia into that midfield, one of those 17-year-olds. Let's see what she can do in the 30 minutes or so that remain. Tall and rangy, just sitting in on Lily Agg at the moment, and Balia. Georgia retreat again. As Anna Patton brings it forward. Stapleton on to Hayes. Again, put some zip on that out to Katie McCabe. Heather Payne on that right-hand side, first cross charge down. Back out to McCabe again. Flips it for Stapleton. Hayes. Shiva. On the inside, Ireland looking for that little point of weakness against the mass ranks of the Georgian defence. Going into the corner where Julianne Russell takes a tumble, no whistle though. Much to the amazement of the Ireland fans over there. Quickly back on her feet though. And now it's handling with Narcia and the decision given against her.
I've been watching her there for the last few minutes, Des, and she has not stopped running across that forward line. She just never stops moving, Julianne. You can see she's looking to try and get on the ball. And she gets a push in the back there as well. I don't know how she's not getting something. You can see perhaps reacts afterwards and gives away a free kick, but just frustration. Her work rate is just unbelievable.
I can tell you it's getting very, very tense in Cardiff. 80 minutes on the clock there now still. The Fishlock goal, the only goal on the night. 2-2 on aggregate, Wales and Slovakia. O'Sullivan, that close control again. Chikatishvili, no time to dwell on it. Kalandadze lets it run through to Gabunia. Just a reminder of a thrilling end to the League of Ireland season coming up. We'll have 2 games live for you on a Friday night, the 2 decisive games. Derry City against Shelbourne from the Brandywell on RTE2 and the RTE Player. Shamrock Rovers versus Waterford live from Tallaght here on the RTE Player and RTE News. Anyone's guess as to where this title will end up. I have a little suspicion who the lady alongside me would like to see it go.
It's a difficult one, you know. Our family are shells, so it's a hard one for me to comment on.
What a season it's been, though. It's been so dramatic and fitting. It goes down to the final day. Derry City almost had 3 teams in it on the final day, but it's down to Shells and Rovers.
It's been exciting, hasn't it? The last couple of weeks have been excellent. It's been great to watch the games and see the excitement around them.
And to see the crowds as well, packing the stadiums for these games. Hayes across to Stapleton. There's 3 changes made by Eileen Gleeson, so another couple. Julian Russell looking for the layoff for O'Sullivan. And a Patton.
I think with Julianne Russell going up top, it's been difficult for her to get on the ball. As I said, she's always moving. She managed to get on the ball a lot out on this left-hand side, particularly in the first half. Just trying to get into positions to try and get on the ball.
Bebbia out muscled on that far side. No way through for Lily Agg. Danelia, lovely little clip forward towards Zambalia. No nonsense from Jessie Stapleton.
She's been good tonight, hasn't she, Jessie Stapleton, without having to do too much. Obviously her involvement in the second goal was brilliant, but I think overall she's looked quite assured.
Just in terms of the substitutes, you look at maybe Eva Mangan of Cork City, chasing her senior debut. Ellen Malloy, great to see her back involved in a big switch from Wexford to Sheffield United, which has gone really well so far.
Yeah, she's been brilliant, and obviously one of those stars within the league over the last couple of years. I think the injury she got came at a difficult time for her after breaking into the Irish team, but big future ahead for Ellen Malloy as well.
Last cap over 2 years ago now. The ACL injury just kept her out for a long time. Ag hunting, edge of the penalty area, and Balia for Georgia. To stretch her legs here and take on Anna Patton. Positive run, but how calm was that from Anna Patton? Mark of a good defender, stayed on her feet, got herself between opposition player and ball and worked it back to her goalkeeper. Atkinson for Stapleton. Patton trusting the touch of Katie McCabe. Here is Ag. McCabe again, O'Sullivan on the move, takes it on the chest. Just wouldn't sit down for her, Denise O'Sullivan.
It's a great run and well spotted. She's unfortunate it won't come down for her.
There's almost that telepathy between those two.
So used to playing with each other, aren't they, over the years?
On by Patton again. Here is O'Sullivan. Left home for Scotland, great success there, 8 trophies. Glasgow City, Denise O'Sullivan, before on to Houston and a serious career in North Carolina.
She's become a really important character within that team as well, hasn't she?
Russell. Here is Atkinson in off the left-hand side. This is picked up by Lily Agg, and Ireland start again with Stapleton. Heading towards the final quarter. Stapleton again, stepping in, looking wide for Heather Payne. Held up by Narcia, at the expense of another corner. Katie McCabe again ambling across to take. Georgia, stung by the Katie McCabe goal, have sent 2 out this time. Well, the second now, Bebia has retreated. Just keep an eye on Marissa Shiva edge of the penalty area. Back out she goes again. Shiva just all on her own now. McCabe with something more direct in mind towards the near post where Hayes was attacking it. Ag keeps it in there. And Ireland can stay on the front foot here. Russell, lovely hold-up play. Atkinson drills it in low. Kalandadze, maybe the pick of that Georgian rearguard again tonight. Patton. Payne and Patton again. McCabe. Patton, touch and turn. Setting up Payne now for a cross. Gabunia's coming and gets a fist too. She's not been shy in doing that. Tatia Gabunia, anything in the air. She'll try and come and get and take the pressure off her defenders. O'Sullivan slips it for Payne again. McCabe dips it out towards Shiva. Flicked into the penalty area with Russell. Julianne Russell, sharp turn. Gabunia holds on at the second time of asking.
Good ball in, a good flick from Shiva, and you can see Julianne, she's just trying to get turned to try and get that shot off. She's looking for someone in the box, just can't pick someone out. Keeper does well to come out and gather.
Patton, lovely touch just to kill that for Denise O'Sullivan. Lots of movement ahead of her. Payne. To work something off McCabe. O'Sullivan. Jessie Stapleton. Atkinson. Russell. Sharp reactions inside the penalty area. Shiva. Hayes and Georgia, having worked across, have to get back out and over again. Patton swings it in, just too much on that for Russell and Shiva. And bounced up and onto the arm.
It's another good run though from Shiva, isn't it? She's been very lively tonight, making good runs into clever pockets. She's just unfortunate as it comes up off her. She's hit her hand as it's come up.
Now Katie McCabe has her goal, passes the armband on to Denise O'Sullivan. She's going to be replaced by Leanne Kiernan, and that won't make it much easier for the tiring Georgian rearguard. Huge ovation for the captain as she makes way.
I see a few faces in the crowd not too happy to see Katie McCabe coming off, but I think it's a job done from her tonight.
And you do have to guard against any knock that she might pick up in these remaining minutes. Just 4 weeks and that'll go by quickly to the playoffs. Leanne Kiernan on. Cap number 38. 3 of her 4 international goals scored on this ground as well. She'll be hoping something might fall her way here. And it is that Russell-Kiernan partnership reunited for the last 20 minutes or so.
They were brilliant against France, weren't they? As I said before, a total different game in terms of the space that was available to them, but Kieran was brilliant in that game, and as you said before, a little bit unfortunate maybe not to be in the starting 11 coming into these games, but she's so much to offer coming off the bench as well.
Shiva still full of running. Fresh legs of pain wide of her. Kieran on the move already, driving towards the end line. And a strong bit of defending from Chikatishvili. She's not had it easy as the left-sided of the centre halves, along with the left wing-back Narcia. A lot has come down that side, first half and second, but she's stuck to her task gamely. I can tell you the attendance tonight has been confirmed at 8,745, which for the women's national team, their 33rd fixture here, the biggest crowd they've ever had in Tallaght. And that for a fixture and a tie that was already won.
You know, it's brilliant to see, as we said, the progress we've made, and great to see so many fans wanting to come out and watch the girls on a Tuesday evening.
Outside in the car park earlier, the buses were coming from all over the country. O'Sullivan, lovely ball on the inside. Heather Payne unable to find her way past Danelia. Stapleton, the deepest of the outfield players, and she's midway inside the Georgia half. Atkinson scoops it forward for Shiva, gets it back again. Kadagishvili prevents the cross from coming in. Stapleton again. Valia comes to meet her, into Patton and Payne. Pressure on the edge of the area from Chikatishvili again. Payne wins it back. Russell for the give and go. Having to fight every inch though with Narcia. They have been outclassed again tonight, Georgia, but they haven't let the heads drop.
It's really good play down that right-hand side from Anna Patton, just doing things quickly.
And she persisted there, not allowing Narcia to run it out of play. And the end result is an Ireland throw-in, deep in Georgia territory. Extra time on the way in Cardiff. Game that started 15 minutes ahead of this one. Some of the Irish players might get into it. See the last few minutes of that. Villiag with the pullback. Kiernan just tried to use her body. Callan Dadze again. Some committed defending. Atkinson puts that in with pace, and Julianne Russell looking to get across the front of Chikatishvili.
It's good play from Atkinson, getting the ball in early. Julianne, as I said, always lively, just can't get in ahead of it. The defender does enough just to put her off, doesn't she?
94 places between these two in the FIFA World Rankings. It was always going to be a huge task. Over two legs for Georgia. Bebia with the far too obvious nudge on Atkinson. And with Katie McCabe off the pitch, we'll need a new free kick taker. Caitlin Hayes puts her hand up. A chance for Hayes to go hunting a few goals. So she's now bound for the penalty area. And the crowd hoping and expecting maybe another here. So Heather Payne. Once again, Ireland leaving that space at the front. Referee finally happy to go. Heather Payne swings it in, tempting delivery as well. Little flick at the front from Julianne Russell. Patton for Kiernan, drills it in low. Really inviting ball, that one. Just needed someone in green to get a touch. To use that pace it came in at and directed goalwards. Lisa Sullivan lets the ball do the work. Danelia steps across. She's seen Danelia as a ball-playing midfielder. But nearly all of her work has been in defensive mode without the ball tonight. Russell rides the first tackle and on she goes, Julianne Russell. There was a lunging challenge from Narcia. Might have yielded another penalty. Kiernan and Russell and Agin there as well. And in the end, Gabunia happy to get her gloves on it.
It's Russell again, isn't it? Just causing havoc. You can see here as it comes back, this is the earlier one from Kiernan. Drills it across, and again, just a Georgian player in the right position to be able to clear it. And here's Julianne Russell, brilliant play again, as I said. So hard working, she just never stops. Pulls it back, and again, everything good tonight has come through her. She's been brilliant.
I can tell you in the games that are finished, Czechia are through to the playoff finals. Ukraine, Finland, Austria, Poland, Norway have scored 9 tonight away to Romania in their second leg. Serbia, Sweden scoring 8 away to Bosnia-Herzegovina. No real surprises around. Everyone hoping to get to Switzerland, and quite a few will have designs on downing England after their extra time win in front of over 87,000 at Wembley against Germany in the last Euros final. And Balia showing real athleticism to get a foot up that high, and straight into the face of Jessie Stapleton, brings her a yellow card. What have we left? Just over 10 minutes plus additional time. Could Ireland find a fourth? Caitlin Hayes. Shiva. And she goes left. Stapleton. Atkinson rather is headed into the penalty area. Stapleton on it now. Patton. Hayes looking to be progressive, and it goes towards Denise O'Sullivan, but over her head and behind for a goal kick. Final change for Ireland is on the way inside the last 10 minutes. Runs through to Jessie Stapleton and Courtney Brosnan on the retreat.
It's been a lonely game for Courtney Brosnan, hasn't it? She's obviously alert for that one shot that came at her, but she hasn't had too much to do tonight, thankfully.
And I can tell you it will be Ellen Malloy coming on for Julianne Russell in a moment or two. Here is Kiernan. Back to Hayes. Stapleton on via Patton and O'Sullivan. Payne. O'Sullivan again, just played behind her though, and Kamanava with a chance to get on it for Georgia. Narcia. Look how quickly Ireland converge, but a little too aggressive that time, Lily Agg. And now we can have that change. So Julianne Russell will go, and will go off the back of another really good performance and another goal.
Yeah, she's been brilliant today, really has. She's been involved in everything good for Ireland, obviously set us up with the scoring early on as well. Just full of energy. A nightmare for any defender to have to work with, but delighted to see Ellen Malloy coming on here. I think this is something that everyone in the League of Ireland will be happy. She's been tearing it up, as I said, over the last couple of seasons. Was unfortunate with the injury when it came.
A real talent, just 20 years of age, made her debut 4 years ago against Ukraine. Her last cap 2 years ago in the World Cup qualifier against Slovakia, before that ACL. From Thomastown in Kilkenny, a superstar for Wexford, particularly 2021 and 2022. And now at Sheffield, already a goal scorer against the championship leaders Birmingham. And in for the final, maybe 10 minutes or so here. So Eileen Gleeson has ran the bench. Emma Byrne and Colin Healy, two key members of her coaching staff behind her. And now the only question remaining for them is well, who wins the other game, and all the video analysis, all the prep to take place over the next 4 weeks. Bebbia to find a little trick and get beyond Lily Agg, who's been penalised.
Lily Agg's not so sure, is she, that she's done anything wrong there. She does look to be in a little bit of distress down there.
While Bebbia is down and in need of some attention, let's get your top player tonight, Steph. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, it's been difficult, to be honest. There's been a few players I think have been really good. I think Shiva has been busy and tidy all game, but I think Julianne Russell for me has just been the one player. Obviously set us off with the goal scorer, and I just think she's been excellent all night. You know, she really has worked so hard and been kind of vital to everything good that Ireland have done. So I'm going to go with Julianne Russell for my player of the match.
A very popular choice, I'm sure, as well. 4 years away from the international scene as she headed off to Australia, came back home to Galway. She's been a huge player for them back in the National League, and a huge player for Eileen Gleeson. She spoke about that phone call as well when it came, and Eileen just saying, "You're ready," and well, she's proven she's ready, isn't she?
Yeah, she's always, and even as I said before, when she was involved in the national team, she was always a top player, you know, always one of those players that always produced in the big games too. So delighted to see her back involved, and I think there'll be a big few months and hopefully a Euros to come from her.
And another goal for Rosie to celebrate as well. Most famous Irish sports baby in the land, I think. First baby in the squad as well, and the squad have even spoken about, Eileen Gleeson spoken about, just when she comes into the camp, baby Rosie, just it lifts everyone and it just brings a different dynamic as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant to see, isn't it?
Hayes, first stumble of the night for Anna Patton, and a chance of a breakaway here now. Lily Agg back to hold that, and then Caitlin Hayes. Kadagishvili rolls it into the feet of Ambalia. Kaminava runs into Denise O'Sullivan, and now with Georgia pushing players up, maybe a chance here for Leanne Kiernan to have a run. Steps forward, finds the angle she's looking for, charged down by Chikatishvili. Definitely worth the go as Georgia retreated.
She was just waiting to get that shot off there, wasn't she? But well won back by Denise O'Sullivan again, another one who's been really, really good tonight.
Shiva, clever run into that little channel again, lifts in the cross. Just too deep for Kiernan. Here's Atkinson. There's a wrap her left foot around it, just couldn't wrap it around enough. And looking ahead, it's 98 minutes played now. 8 minutes into extra time in Cardiff, still 1-0 to Wales. Certainly something which you would hope will stand to Ireland over these two games is the strength and depth in this squad now. You can see the senior players, experienced players, exciting young players, all in the mix now for Eileen Gleeson.
Yeah, there's a few headaches there, I'm sure, for Eileen. I'm sure she's had one eye on that game going forward. You know, I think obviously after the result in the first game, we really thought we were going to be qualifying, didn't we? Let's be honest. So I think for Ireland now, it's looking forward to those games. I think two teams, Slovakia and Wales, are very similar. Obviously Wales very similar to ourselves, so it'll be interesting to see now who comes out on top.
Well, at the end of the night for the starting captain, Anna Kemenava. And she's only going to get a few minutes, but significantly, this appearance for Nino Pastikashvili will move her ever closer to becoming the first Georgian female player to reach the 100 cap mark. This is cap 94 now. And what a milestone that will be for her when she gets there. Denise O'Sullivan sparkled again tonight. She'll certainly be one in the thinking of the Wales or Slovakian management. And they're plotting and planning for Ireland. Stapleton down the middle. And a good piece of defending by Gasfiani, not allowing Kiernan to give chase. I hope now for Eileen Gleeson over the next 4 weeks, no injuries picked up, everyone finds good form at club level, because they will be going into those playoffs off the back of 3 straight wins. And just one final reminder tonight of what's coming up on Friday night with us on RTE, the conclusion of the League of Ireland season. All the action live from the Brandywell, and from here in Tallaght. Is the title bound for Shelburne or Shamrock Rovers? We will find out. Nothing certain there. This tie was certain maybe midway through the second half of the first leg in Tbilisi. Ireland winning that first leg 6-0, 3-0 tonight against a side that sat in once again and did their best to make life awkward and difficult for Ireland. And what the last 12 months or so has shown, even take it back through the World Cup, Ireland have faced all levels of opposition now and have to show different sides of their game, which can only be a plus.
Yeah, I definitely think coming into these games, we spoke about that, it was going to be a different level of opposition. You're going to have more of the ball, you're going to have to be patient in possession, whereas before we're kind of looking to keep it tight and then hit teams on the break. So it's a good test for them tonight to have loads of the ball again.
Hanging and Gabunia, who had a difficult second half last Friday evening, has maybe a positive moment to finish with here. And for Ira Sandman, she'll look at that scoreline and she'll look at the commitment of her side tonight and be happy with that, particularly after conceding a goal inside 3 minutes. They didn't fold, they kept fighting to the end.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the positives, don't you? I think from the last time we played them, it was 11 and 9-0, wasn't it, in both games? So it's small steps from them, but it's definitely improvements off what they've done before.
Ag. That one's a little short for Atkinson. A tired-looking Kadagishvili just lumps it down to Courtney Brosnan. Malloy driving into the penalty area. Enterprising run this. Held on to it under pressure, Ellen Malloy. Atkinson to the end line, another cross from Izzy Atkinson, punched away by Gabunia. Malloy following up. Oh, that would have been some way to round it off, wouldn't it? And she wasn't too far away, Ellen Malloy.
Yeah, it was just a signature Ellen Malloy run. We've seen it for a goal for Sheffield United there a couple of weeks back. She's so good at dribbling with the ball at her feet. As a falser here, just gets under it, doesn't she? It's a great ball in from Izzy Atkinson. It falls to her, and as I said, she just gets a little bit too much on it. But she's so good at that, so good at dribbling at players, and just keeps the ball. You cannot get near it when she's dribbling at you.
Last minute in Tallaght. Jessie Stapleton hooks it out to Anna Patton. She's looked very good on the ball tonight, Anna Patton. Caitlin Hayes tried to force that one through to Malloy. Georgia looking for a spurt of energy laid on to try and threaten the goal of Courtney Brosnan. One save to make tonight. Here goes Bebbia. Has she the legs to get away? And Hayes just glides alongside her, takes it off her toe, and the danger diffused. There's going to be a clamour for all the jerseys after the game. The signs are all around the stadium. The young fans are taking up position alongside us, heading down to get as close to the pitch as they can here to see their heroes. There is the final whistle. Job done by Ireland, very convincingly over the two legs. And 6-0 into Tbilisi. Then tonight was a stroll for them against a Georgia side that did what they could, but really carried no attacking threat. The one shot from Keminava, or from Bakradze rather, saved by Courtney Brosnan. 3-0 on the night, and now to look forward to Wales or Slovakia.
Yeah, it's job done, and on to the next one, isn't it? Really good, convincing performance. Great to get some goals, great to see some players coming on and getting minutes too. But convincing performance, as you said, over the two legs, and job done. On to the next.
On to the next indeed, and let's hope for a huge crowd at the Aviva Stadium for that second leg in December. Players will retreat now to see who wins that other game and who they are plotting and planning for in the two games where it's winner take all. Final score here then on the night, it's Ireland 3, Georgia 0, 9-0 on aggregate.